Hello there guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be looking at how to navigate the CQ Service Control Panel or our modified version of Pterodactyl. So with our current panel, first of all you're going to be seeing a screen like this. So here's my two servers. We're going to be going on to our server here. What we can then do is pretty much on this panel, we've got our overview, our basic overview of the server, telling us that the server is running or the server status for every game. This kind of is the same. The IP address and the port in the end, which for all you DDoSers don't need to worry about this IP because this will be getting deleted shortly after. We've got our CPU here, which is just showing the percentage of the CPU we're currently running at, as well as our memory usage, showing that we're currently running at about 2.3 gigs out of 48 gigabytes of RAM. Now we've also got down here how much storage we're using, so we're only using 387 megabytes out of our 100 gigabytes plan. However, on all of our game servers, we operate unmetered for Minecraft. Obviously, if you need to go above your 100 gigs, let us know, and we would get that updated for you. Okie doke. So, when we are using our server, this is our console. We type a command. If we wanted to op myself, I can do this through here, and it will run the command. As you'll see, the little bar up here will constantly refresh. It's because it's constantly making sure this is all up to date. You've got your graphs down here for CPU and memory. We've got our file manager, just to kind of show you. You can view all your files. Built-in text editor, so you can edit text, or I'll give you a better look at that. Let's do the server.properties. As you'll see, we can edit this all in here. Nice text editor. Again, we just press save content, it'll save. MOTD, we could change that to CQ servers test, and it'll all do that. As well as we've also got our databases tab, where if you want to set up a MySQL database, if that comes in your plan, you can go to new database, set up your database name. We could set it to database, wildcard connection, create, and it will create our database here, which we can then connect to the CQ server's database management system to get access. We've also got our schedules tab, so if, for example, we wanted to set up a schedule to restart our server, we could do that. We can go to create schedule, the schedule name, and we could call this Minecraft restart. We can then select the time, so we want this to do it every 5 minutes. We don't really want it to do that, but we'll do that anyway. Create the schedule. Now, the really unique thing about this is it doesn't only allow you to run one command. When you press in, you can add a task. So the task is the command we're doing. So command time offset. So let's just say it'll be say or broadcast server restart in 20 seconds. And then we wanted to have another one that after 20 seconds it'll run the command broadcast server, or after 10 seconds we'll say broadcast server restart in 10 seconds, and then we would run the 20 seconds later we'd schedule a power action to restart the server. So as you'll see, we've got broadcast, yep, next run February 7th at 4:35. I don't know what time it is at the moment, but let's just have a look. So if we give it 5 minutes, what we'll do, we'll continue with the panel. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and see if it's ran the commands. So we've also got our users tab here. Now this is very good if you want to add your friend to the panel. So say for example I wanted to add my buddy Will, I would add Willm at cqservers.com. I can then pick exactly what permissions I want to give him. So if I want to give him logs, he can view the logs. If I want to give him subdomains, he can view and manage subdomains. Control, we want him to do this stuff. Yep, or we can just manually tick. We want them to be able to do console, but we don't want them to be able to start and stop. If we want them to be able to start and stop but not use the console, we can do that. If we want them to be able to create and add sub-users, we don't really want anyone to be able to do that. Bearing in mind, these guys can actually manage permissions for other sub-users, which you really don't want. We can file manager, again, if they want access to file manager, you give them this. Backups, again, I would advise keep them away from backups just for the sake of keeping your server safe in case any of your staff go rogue. We don't want anyone having access to that. Allocation being, you guys don't really need to worry about that, but it's something that is available. So yeah, you don't really need to worry about ticking the box. It just allows them to manage and look at your network. We've got startup, which allows them to amend the startup parameters of the server. Database, create, manage, or delete databases. Again, do as you will with that. It's kind of like giving them your file manager. Schedule tasks and access settings. Again, there's some dangerous ones down here, so just be careful. We've now invited him, and as you'll see, it's added him to the panel. It's created him a user, and he will now receive an email from our panel saying account created. He'll press the link in the email, and it will allow him to register effectively to set up his passwords, and he'll come in, he'll see this server straight away. If we want to delete him, we can edit him if we want to edit what permissions he's got. If we want to delete him, we can press that button, and he is gone. Now, we've also got backups. We can create a backup at any time. If I wanted to make the backup name as CQ, you can set any ignored files. Again, it's completely up to you in that one. If you give it a second, it's created the backup already. It's not that big a backup, but it created it pretty much straight away. You can then press here and download, or do whatever you need to do to get that. You can delete your backups to keep them up to date, and that'll just ensure that you keep everything all good in the hood. Now we've got our network tab. Now this will show you what ports you have assigned to your server. For example, if you contact us in support ticket and say I'd like to set up Votify, I'd like to set up Geyser, anything like that, we would look to assign new ports based on that. As you'll see, this server is on a dedicated IP, so they're currently running 25565, 19132 for Geyser. But yeah, you can change the primary port if you want to. We're not going to do that, but you can. And yeah. Now taking a look at our startup tab. Our startup tab is great. It allows you to actually change the server.jar file. So if you want to use a custom jar which you upload it to your file manager, you can change the jar file here, restart your server, and it'll take running that jar. You can also change your Docker image. So I know that a lot of the kind of newest servers and most of the new plugins, things like that, like for example PaperMC, are only going to be supporting Java 11 from now on. We do also support Java 8, but your server will be automatically installed with Java 11. So you can change this, make sure that it's whatever one you want, and that'll just run your server based on that. Let's see if our schedule has ran yet. Don't think it has. Let's see, when's it due to run? 4:35 it ran at. Okay, we'll give it a minute. See. Wait, does that say 4:35? Oh well. Okay, no worries. Right, now onto our subdomains. You can actually create a custom subdomain with us. So say for example, just wait for this one to delete. If I wanted people to be able to connect to my server by using test.cqserver, cqserve.com or .gamecq.net, we can pick one of our two subdomains we allow for users. You can select there, create, and it will set that up for you, and it'll straight away target your server allocation. And from there, effectively your subdomain is good to go. You can connect using that. If you give it a couple of minutes, you'll be able to connect to test.cqserve.com and your server will be right there waiting for you. Now we've also got logs at the moment on this server. They're disabled. They will be enabled on your server, but you'll be able to see exactly what users have done, when they've done it, as well as kind of power action, things like that. We've also got our settings, which allows you to change mainly just the server name. being whatever you want it to show as on your panel. So this doesn't change the actual in-game Minecraft, but it will change in your panel, and then reinstall the server if you need to do that. Now, another unique feature here, you can press launch Sftp, and if you let me just, pretty much what it just did there, if I just leave this here and I just press it again, as you'll see, it automatically connects to my WinSCP, which allows me to access my files. I just type in my password, and I am now into the files of the server. Very quick, very easy. It just allows, it's one of those kind of little things that we thought would be really kind of useful for customers. So it has been added into the panel for everyone to do. But yeah, obviously we don't support FTP, we support SFTP. So if you're using any other file manager like FileZilla or anything like that, you can get your connection details here, and you'll need to change your protocol to SFTP. And other than that, guys, that's pretty much it in terms of our server itself. Again, you can also see your players down here. It just tells you a number on how many players you have in your server. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much us in terms of the video today. Hopefully you guys understood that, and it's going to taught you a little bit about what our panel can do. If you've got any questions, any comments, any concerns at all, drop them in the comment section or reach us at one of our support kind of channels through the description. They'll all be posted, as well as I'll leave a link for WinSCP in case you guys want to download WinSCP. Obviously, this was more so a Minecraft version of this, but you know, the panel generally services all the games. It doesn't change much for every game. Obviously, this services Minecraft. It'll also service 5M. It'll also service Gmod and Rust. So whatever games you guys want to use, it's typically the same. And if you've got any problems with that, any problems with the way the panel works, shoot us a message through our support, and we will be happy enough to help. Alright guys, that's me signing off. Thanks for your time today, and hopefully you guys will be part of our customer book shortly. See you later.